Sahajatma Swarup Param Guru. Jai Jinendra to all lucky and blessed members gathered here for Chitrapat Pratishtha at organization of Jain Vishwa Bharati of Acharya Tulsi, Orlando. Today, on the auspicious day of Kartiki Purnima, the birthday of Param Kripadev Srimad RAJCHANDRA, I would like to share some important highlights and amazing milestones of spiritualism of his miraculous lifespan of only 3 decades. Srimad RAJCHANDRA, fondly known as Param Kripadev among his followers, was born on 9th November 1867 with spiritual wisdom and detachment for worldly pleasures. He has had amazing picture memory and extraordinary knowledge of spiritualism. He studied only 2 standards in school of a small village named Vavania in Morbi province of state of Gujarat in India. 2 more standards he studied on his own at home. At the age of 7 years only, seeing one old gentleman, his neighbor, being cremated at the bank of a lake, he got immersed deep into the thoughts process to understand as to what is birth, what is death, and what really is the purpose of life between these 2 inevitables, birth and death. And he attained Jati Smruti Gnana, clear knowledge of previous birth. Since young age, he has been a prolific writer since his school days. He wrote numerous articles, poetries encompassing Jain philosophy in depth. He wrote Mokshmala, the concise summary of Jain philosophy, encompassing sermons based on principles of teaching of Lord Mahavir and previous Tirthankaras. This gigantic task he accomplished at the age of 16 years in only 3 days. He also wrote in single sitting, within 1.5 hours, a complete treatise of Jain philosophy and the path of liberation under the explanatory name of Atma Siddhi, which is applicable to one and all without caste, creed or personal belief of any sect. In this write-up in poetic form, he weighed pros and cons of all the prevailing religions, ultimately explaining as to how to liberate soul from this everlasting cycle of birth and death. At the age of 19 years in heart of Mumbai city in India, he exhibited Shatavdhan, performing 100 tasks at a time, instantaneously, wherein he showed his knowledge of 16 languages of the world, which he has had no knowledge of, not even the name of many of the languages. He answered the queries asked in Greek, Latin, French, etc. in all 16 languages of the world, that too in presence of judges, doctors, Sanskrit scholars, industrialists and so many learned individuals. In approximately 1000 letters of Srimad RAJCHANDRA Vachanamrut, book compilation of his letters for true seekers, he wrote his spiritual journey from birth to last day, depending on the spiritual achievement at that stage. He explained, there cannot be true happiness if it is not from within. The worst mistake of a person apparently behaving as seeker is he or she believes in that religion which is followed in the family the person is born of. This type of behavior appears pitiable in the eye of true spiritual guru, and that out of just compassionate nature, he clarifies his stand and lays bare open the discrepancies of the prevailing religions, including Jainism. One doesn't attain liberation by being born to and following family religion. Religion for liberation is only one, that is Vitrakta, avoiding attachment, hatred and ignorance, which are 3 chief knots of bondages responsible for trap of vicious cycle of birth and death. Contemporary of Mahatma Gandhi, he has been instrumental in sowing the seeds of truth and non-violence in Mr. Gandhi. Let us start with holy mantra Sajatma Swarup Param Guru and take deep dive into the life of this divine person, the living God on earth, Sahajatma Swarup Param Guru.